towards the end along.
Senior Match Grand Prix winner Dan Ingham in 15th place, Barry Graham, Sean Brolly and Neil Kernan, Steve Gordon, Chris Duncan were your top 20, but out in the front as you go over Black Hill there now. Oh, that's such a great, you don't realise how steep it is till you walk it, do you? It's such a climb, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a very technical corner, one of the most technical corners on the track. Let's not forget, this is Alistair's first time ever racing. After this race.
And across the line to complete lap number 2, Jeremy Williams on the first lap, led by 1.3 seconds. Across the line they go there now. So yeah, 0.286 Hickman, quickest lap of the race, 4 minutes 51.088 for Peter Hickman. Now Paul Jordan up to 6th for PJ, 448.869. Lap record's only 4:47.06. The conditions can't be that bad. He was only 1 and a bit seconds outside the lap record for Paul Jordan.
Let's not forget that he had overshot University Corner, so he must have lost like 10-15 seconds there. Absolute stunning comeback. Didn't make it. There's Paul Jordan right on the back of Christian Elkin, and he struggles to get in behind the Baron and the screen. Down to Alistair Seeley.
Excellent record held. Shipped to Richard Kibber, 4:47, 112.49 from 2020. Black Hill they go, you're going to watch that there, the Windle, pick him there, Jeremy with the front wheel, just pouring the air a little bit, Hickey setting himself up for a traditional, shall we say, overtake into the Juniper Hill chicane, but here he goes, call it through.
Yeah, you just seen Jeremy front wheel pawing the air, and when it landed to give a quick snap, but there's Hickey looking up the inside. Just seeing where Jeremy's braking and thinking, yeah, I can brake deeper than that there, we'll see if that's the last lap.
Oh, Jeremy clipping the car. Oh dear me, it looked like he nearly had it. Well, he had a big moment there on the exit there on the Juniper Hill chicane. But here we go, it's complete lap number 3. It'll be the last lap flag. Now it's less than 100th of a second. Peter Hickman having a look up the inside. That's an Alistair Seeley move. He doesn't do it. Quickest man on track, Paul Jordan, 4 minutes 47.728, and he's right.
Gap up to the 2 leaders, right on their coattails right at the very end of the lap.
So 4 minutes 47.7 for him. The others were 4:51, so he was 4 seconds a lap quicker, and he's only, let's do the maths, he's 2.5 seconds back, Coach. I think you've called that right. I think he's going to be there.
And here he goes. Is he going to make a move in Alistair? No, not into the middle road.
Freight Services, Super Twin Sport Bike Rate.
Pass him on the run down into Metropole, but is he going to do it in the brakes? He's not. Here comes Alistair Seeley.
me. Black Hill then for the final time, then they're going on to the valley. He's in that fourth place and less than a second covers her. And the hard now on the brakes, this is it. It's all or nothing. Hickman looking up the inside. Is he going to get to Williams? It looks like he is. Peter Hickman going to get to the front, slows it up. It's Seeley, nearly into the back of it. Williams, goodness me. And Paul Jordan keeping that watching brief. But I think Peter Hickman has judged that absolutely perfectly as they climb up the hill, up Quarry Hill for the final time. Peter Hickman is going to take the first race win of the day. He's going to get to the left-hand side of the tyre. He's going to cross the line there now. And it is going to be Peter Hickman who's going to take the win on the Swan Yamaha. Peter Hickman, 5. Third, and Paul Jordan, well, from where he came back from, Coatsy to finish fourth and the quickest lap of the race, 4 minutes 47.
Wow, perfectly executed last lap by Peter Hickman, probably the whole race long. He knew where Jeremy was. But he didn't panic and he pulled himself back up to him. Then what about that? He wasn't going to give him too much. Back into that lead group. What a fantastic last lap, absolutely brilliant.
So Coatsy's going to head out, I think, to the winners' enclosure. Right, he used to get to Larry. Okay, so Jeremy Williams. Alistair Seeley comes home in third place. 22 Paul Jordan in fourth. 36 Jamie Cowan home in fifth. Then there's 8 Christian Elkin in sixth. 39 AJ Ventnor in ninth place, in beg your pardon, 7th place. 65 Mikko Sweeney in 8th. 54 newcomer Franco Bourne in 9th. And then Mario Poncini in 10th place for the number 384 machine. Then there's Andres in 12th, and Neil Kernahan in 13th, the big guy there. 15th Barry Graham in 14th. 119 Chris Duncan completely down to the timer points, 2 timer points, 3 timer points if you include the second one is here, and then what we all know this guy's been through, but to get himself back at the sharp end here on quite a demanding circuit on the brakes, he's got to move around all the bits of his body like a lot of racers hurt. You know, this is incredible. He's riding well.
Yeah, on the podium in the Superstock race last year, so that was fantastic to see. I'm battling now for, well, at fourth at the minute, so Storm Station is cars closing in on Glenn as he go into the left lane, Juniper chicane.
And Storm Stacey is the fastest ever. 0.999 compared to Richard Kimber, 4:27.631, 7 seconds quicker. Slots into 9th at the moment. So Glenn Irwin leads by 0.332 from Dean Harrison. Dean Harrison, no quickest lap of the race, 4:18.731, 124.8.
Yeah, Glenn Irwin leads him through the Amici Herpin. Sizing up the Ducati. He hasn't had any time behind Glenn or any of the other Ducatis on track during the practice. So this is it's interesting to see, you know, really good package out of the box.
Jonathan Perry, that 42, yeah, unfortunately Jonathan Perry, a retirement there, that looks like just after the start and finish. So for Jonathan Perry fans, I know there's a lot of people out there who follow him on the road, he's retired.
Obviously comes from races every weekend at the BSB that he's done.
Glenn Irwin's shot to the left-hand side of the road there now as Dean Harrison tucks in behind him again. good battle there with Mike. Good story. I mean, it's been a big story all week. They go through Duvarin now, and they head up towards Black Hill, crack apart the track. If you're on the other side of it, just about here.
Just biding his time. He's happy just sitting there in second place. Let Glenn set the pace.
With a 4 minute 18.343 for Glenn. Well, Hutchinson, he should be next rider through Hickman. He said sorry. 997 and for so he's lost a little bit of time. Just keep it nice, easy, don't want to get too close to him, don't want to get dragged along, you don't want to show your hand to him. Towards the car end of the circuit through the Camore hold the car, heading towards station corner so fast. Look out, if you're watching it on the TV cameras, you'll see that.
Carrying a little more angle when you're on the edge of the car.
The second wave, we got Demon Master 212. He jumped up to 19th place. Welshman Reese Hardesty, he's up to 20th place, and Don Gilbert also.
And Hutchie, Michael Dunlop, Josh Brooks, but didn't see Storm Stacey. So
okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, see where he's going.
There's just 4 of them.
Yeah, he's obviously dropped off. He said.
Michael Dunlop up into 4th place now.
Goodness me, on the road just well, but back in the front, we're going heading towards the Juniper Hill chicane. We're out on lap number 4. It is to the inside, the left-hand side of Glen on the brakes that Honda, doesn't it? Not surely, no.
They're now
10 seconds.
7 seconds. The last time we come through the start and finish, and now another 3 seconds further up the road they are. But when we cut back to the lead. Armici Herpin and have lost around it focused on the back of Hutchie, and Hutchie sort of outbrake himself a little bit. Josh could do nothing but outbrake himself again.
And here comes Glen Irwin as he go over towards station. Absolutely flat to the back there now, at over 200 miles an hour through there. The speed trap last time is 209.1 for Irwin, 207.8 for Dean Harrison. The gap across the line was 0.352. So let's look at this. I think Hutchie has just come into the corner here, Coates. You call it, but I think he's just sat up a bit and just caught Josh out. Yeah, there we go.
Out of shape, but Josh was on the outside of him. Nothing Josh could do but sort of go wide.
Irwin, Hickman, Dunlop, Hutchinson, Brooks, McGuinness, Stacey still circulating, then Brown, Sweeney, Johnson, Rees, West, Keys, Chalky, top 15, then Frere, Gilbert, Truman, and Master. Back in the front, Glen Irwin, the gap across the line was 1.352, so just over a quarter of a second. But there, as we know, there's still quite a few laps to go here now. We've got 2 and a bit laps to go, 1 and a bit laps to go. I can never remember. Just hope they put the last lap flag out this time, eh? Let's hope they do that this time. Glen Irwin.
Yeah, the Ducati definitely punches out of the corner well. And past Dean Harrison, so it's Glen Irwin back in the lead into the Maher chicane.
The thing is about it, you look at it here now with Dean Harrison. He showed his hand twice, once down at university and once into Juniper, but Glenn knows how good he is now on the brakes. And Dean, being a road racer, they're not really known for being great short circuit riders. However, he's done a lot of short circuit riding. He's done a lot of testing and stuff on this bike, so he is now up to what we would call short circuit braking, because you don't do last minute lunges at TT and things like that, you know, but he's looking smooth and calm on the brakes, not all action at all. But Glenn Irwin back at the front.
Yeah, and that second super sport race at Bolton Park, the race on the Sunday. What a phenomenal ride that he done at Bolton Park. Come from further back and got just kept moving forward, really strong. Practice on Wednesday, and then 1 hour session on the Superbikes. He got 9 laps in. He circulated the whole time on Thursday evening when we got the practice going. Just didn't even pull into the pits and change a clicker. So real happy with his bikes, real happy with his feeling on the bike.
Back into the sunshine and on the coast road. Let's see what Dean Harrison's got. The Ducati there just pulls a little bit as he exits Black Hill. There comes Dean Harrison. I don't think he's going to show his head this time. I don't think he will do too much. As they go in and out of the Juniper Hill chicane, nice and steady through there. Straighten the bike up to the right hand side. Quick flick to the left. And there will Dean, that rear wheel spinning up there again. So Glenn Irwin leads. He's 0.252, so pretty similar, quarter of a second. Still quickest man on track is Glenn Irwin. 418.343, but Dean Harrison on his coattails are now. What are we going to see from Dean? Oh dear me, that was MotoGP. Sliding the rear through there.
Yeah, the Honda seems very loose in that particular. That was the second time we've noticed that. So I don't think there's an issue with tower, especially seeing we're seeing it on lap 4 now lap 5. It's maybe just that Dean has the bike set up, but maybe a little bit harder on the rear, giving it a bit less grip, and then it's just easier to spin it up.
Peter Hickman in third. Then it's number 12, Ian Hutchinson. Storm Stacey still gone round as well. Remember, he is now the fastest newcomer around the Triangle Circuit. Number 1, he is in 8th place, and 16 Mike Brown, and 65 Mikko Sweeney. Complete your top 10. A lot longer in wheel. Here comes Dean Harrison. Sorry, coach, you just to cut me there. Here comes Dean Harrison in the slipstream as they go over Black Bridge. We're going to get it into University on the last lap for this Briggs Equipment Superbike race, but Glenn's got back in the front again.
Out of the slipstream,
Glenn's a bit wide, just seemed to maybe lose the front a little bit. A chance to catch right up again. Is he going to look at the inside? Glenn's good into here, isn't he?
Yeah, there just wasn't enough in it. Glenn ran a wee bit wide, but he was still able to get on the gas. Maybe not as strong as he could, but it wasn't enough to let Dean through. Maybe not wanting to go too soon.
Well, I think he's close enough there now to get a run into Mathers Cross, because that is going to be the next big breaking point. He's pulled a wee gap again, isn't he, there?
Yeah. The Ducati definitely showing its top. And Glenn breaking strong into Maher chicane, the crowd waving there. On the bikes, it's like lovely watching, you know, it looks like he's not even trying, but he is trying hard.
Like John McGuinness, watch John McGuinness just flows, just completely flows. But look at that gap there is there now. There's a big gap there. That is probably a second or so. He's going to have to get a bit closer than this as they head down now towards Macroboy. They're going to get on the brakes, and we've got a couple of slower riders they're just going to catch up on. Unfortunately, we've got number 33 there, Kieran Brocky, and there's another rider just ahead of there. Possibly.
Yeah, maybe Glenn's going to get this first guy on the brakes, but the blue flag should be out. The two guys are staying well out of the way. That's great. Fantastic support from the crowd the whole way right round the circuit. Blue Church Corner now, knees scraping the tarmac underneath the railway bridge and up to Black Hill.
Yeah, and last lap then for this man. Is it going to be win number 12 for the man on the Superbike? Dean Harrison closing in as they go on the Black Hill for the final time. I'm sure the fans going to give them a lot of encouragement as they go towards Ballyray Road. And here we go. This is it for Dean Harrison. I know he's got another chance a little bit later on. I know we've been collecting all the data for later on, but I think he's got this covered, Glenn Irwin.
Yeah, Dean's not close enough here. But he's through this game. He maybe just had to feel the brake a little bit. Yes, Dean's right on his back wheel. So he got in a little bit hot, Glenn, but he managed to stay on the tarmac. It allowed Dean to close up. As Dean...
Quarry Hill for the final time, ladies and gentlemen. He is now a 12, oh, nearly not, nearly a 12-12 time Northwest 100 winner. It's Glenn Irwin who takes the checkered flag by 0.181 of a second from Dean Harrison, Peter Hickman gets fourth, Josh Brook gets fifth, and after a slow start, Michael Cummingood at the end with the quickest lap of 4 minutes 20.03, but the honours.
Is that 22 bikes? Am I right?
Can they both get to the top step? Yeah, well, it looks like they're pulling away from third place. I know it is just halfway around the first lap.
They all go at the one time. Oh, did he set them out at different times? okay, så. Over Speed ramp should be outlawed, man.
Shit, what it is, fucking. He's raging that I'll get me, yeah.
He's fucking dying, he's there, look.
Mate, I don't even brush my hair, let alone that.
stop these classes.